and welcome
to Twitch and Stitch. I love how when I do it, and my face is like,
I know, we're extra creepy.
I know, eh? So we're back, hooray! We're here for another episode.
It's very nice to see you again today.
Today, yep, it's good to see you.
We hope you're doing well. Take a minute and just do a little bit of a check-in.
Grab your knitting, because this is going to be a good one.
And maybe your tea or a glass of water, depending on where you live. Some places are cold, some places are warm, you know?
Some people are having winter right now.
That's true, and some people like to drink tea.
Australia and South Africa.
Yep.
And we have some people that watch from there.
We do. Thank you for tuning in.
It's great to see you again. So, I have a very vacant back here right now. So, I just wanted to take a second to explain that because all of a sudden, there's no yarn. There's all the yarn. I still have everything. So I came down here the other day. This room it's our spare room, but it's also storage for it's my craft room. Storage for all the yarn and things. So I came down and I found a moth down here. One moth. I hit full panic, no holes barred, just craziness, and I was like, not my yarn! I don't even know if it was a clothing moth. Could have been, maybe it wasn't.
I don't think it was. I think it was a food.
Just a moth.
A moth.
Yeah. So yeah, and I had already moved all my stash very recently, so I've looked through my stash lots, and you know, I come down here to smell my yarn, so it's not like it doesn't...
Sometimes I catch their head inside the cabinet.
I'm just here loving my yarn. So I pulled everything out, and I looked through everything meticulously. I put it all in bags.
It took her hours.
Yeah. And I unraveled everything, looked through it. There was no sign of moths, no sign of larvae, no sign of anything. It was just, I just took the bull by the horns and panicked. And the big thing is that everything was just really loose back here. And so I started putting it in its own separate little bags, just because I just want to make sure that if that ever happens, I hope it never happens, but if it ever does, that it's well contained and I would be able to spot it. But I do handle my yarn a lot, and that's one of the things that one of the things that causes moths to go somewhere is if it's dark, if it doesn't get moved, and if it's undisturbed. So I disturb my yarn
all the time.
All the time because I love it so much. So if you have a stash, please just go and disturb it.
Just go in there right now.
Go in there and
pause the video. And just go sniff your stash. Just put your hands in there and be like, yarn, like you're kneading bread. You can even throw it up and dance under it like it's raining. But you would do it.
Okay, but you don't have to do that. Just go and look, and
you can
check it. Just check it because you know, 'tis the season. It's always the season. So
because depending on where you live, it's a different season,
right? But also, you know, they do go into yarn that is undisturbed. And after I was watching Two Tangled Skeins and saw that Sue had a moth problem.
Really?
So that added to my anxiety, and I messaged her. I'm like, I found a moth. I don't know what it is. What do I do to make sure all of the things are okay?
I love
and my voice even went up 12 octaves in the message I sent her because it was typed.
I love that we're just perpetuating the social contagion on the moth fury.
Yeah. Be afraid.
Fear the moths. You don't have any fears in your life? Fear the moths.
Fear the moths. They will eat your yarn.
Who needs to watch the news? We'll fearmonger for you.
Okay, but seriously, I'm really bad for that. If I see something that I'm just nervous about or whatever, and I Google.
Don't do it.
Don't Google. It would just, yeah. So yeah, I got moth traps and I haven't found any, and yeah, so, and I went through everything, but it was also a good time to go through and see what I have and what I love and what I don't love, and I ended up getting rid of some more yarn. So just paring stuff down a little bit. And we'll get into that a little bit later because there's another thing regarding that. But Scylla, what are you working on?
So I am still working on my Kathleen, and I put that away. I'm sure you're tired of hearing, I'm working on my Kathleen. I'm stuck right before the cabling. So I'm going to put that away for the rest of the summer. I needed something that was physically enjoyable, that would increase my bilateral stimulation, that would help me relax and not cause any mental use. And so...
Because why?
Because I am in the middle of writing my thesis.
And wait, there's more.
So, this morning at about 2:30 a.m., I submitted a draft.
Yay!
It's a draft of my lit review, so I get to move on to the next section.
For the weekend.
So that's been put away for at least this weekend. I'll probably pick it up again on Tuesday evening. My prof probably won't have my edits back to me until the end of the month. I was a couple days late getting it to him, and he's going on holiday, so hopefully he's able to get the edits back to me. Mm-hmm. And if he isn't, I guess I'm just hanging out and playing in August. Yes. No, if he isn't, I already have been approved for my search strategy, so I'm just going to start doing my data collection. And I'll do the edits on my lit review when he gets back.
So what are you knitting?
Oh, yes. So, knitting-wise, I am actually knitting a blanket.
I think my eyes went crossed and I passed out. I was like, I went into rabbit hibernation while you were talking.
This is so boring. So I'm making a cowl because that's what I make. See, isn't it beautiful? It's got these nice ruffles and it fits in like this, and it's going to be beautiful when it's done.
She's lying. She's telling you all lies.
All lies! Or I'm knitting a blanket. I didn't count my stitches, and it's really, really fluffy yarn. It's Burnett blanket yarn.
It's acrylic. All of you yarn snobs, just close your eyes. I'll tell you when you can look back.
Record. It's actually, I don't think it's acrylic. I think it's polyester.
It's probably ester.
Polyester. Just a second. It's in here somewhere. I read it the other day when I bought it to make sure it wasn't just acrylic, because I don't know if I would be allowed to bring that into the house. Yeah, it's polyester. It's 100% polyester. So I am knitting, yes, it's synthetic. Yes, it does not have anything to do with animals. And yes, it doesn't smell like beautiful sheepiness. But it's really soft, and it's durable, and it's machine washable. I was going to do it all this color, the blue, but then I realized that I made it so wide that these are jumbo balls of yarn. And this much yarn, if Marsha wants to read the yarnage.
The yardage?
Yeah, the yarnage. The
yarnage.
This section here, which is only about
It's only 220 yards.
So it's 220 yards, and that only makes about this big.
And on a regular yarn, you need about 1,300 yards at least to make a sweater.
So this is, I keep buying more yarn. So this blanket that originally was going to cost me, I'm like, oh yeah, it'll cost me like $30. It'll be a nice little throw blanket for my couch. It's going to cost me about $150 by the time I'm done with the yarn. In acrylic yarn to make it the size that I want it. But I've started it, and I've committed to it, and I'm going to do blue and brown lines throughout, and so I'm pretty excited.
Did you say what the needles are?
My needles are, guess what? I know it's going to surprise those of you who've been watching the podcast and been following. I am using Addy Interchangeables.
Like,
oh yeah, so they're 8mm and US size 11. So it's going to give me just enough give, and it's working out pretty quick. And that's it. That's what I'm working on. Marsha, what are you working on?
Oh, it's the Marsha show now.
Now it's the Marsha show. Now
Welcome to the Marsha show. I'm going to show you all the things. So I've knit a little bit since I saw you last.
Just a little bit. So she was making up for what she didn't knit the last time.
I know. Okay, and I totally am. I really am. So this yarn, it's Tumphy, made in Italy, and it is an... Oh, those yarn snobs, you can look back, but just peek out of one eye for this part. So this is a 50% wool, 50% high bulk acrylic. So this yarn is gross on my hands to knit with. It dries my hands out. I have to use hand lotion every 20 minutes when I knit with it. It is in my stash. I cannot bring myself to get rid of it. So
it was a gift.
It was a gift from my dad, and he's very thoughtful. And so I started knitting this, and I started making I'm gonna hit you in the face with this.
Fine, you were my inspiration to knit a blanket
for my husband, and he loves it. He absolutely loves it. So I'm really happy with that, and it's to use up all of this yarn, and it's yeah.
Ow!
Sorry,
I forgive you. You have to poke me every episode.
I do poke you every episode.
Are those high sharps?
Yes, they are.
You should find the dulls.
Okay, so yeah, but it's turning out really nice. I tried 3 times to knit a what is it? A log cabin.
Oh yeah,
and I was so frustrated. It didn't look good. I wanted a certain gauge because I wanted the fabric to feel a certain way. And it didn't look good, and I ripped it out, and I was just getting super frustrated. I think I have them. Oh, wait. But wait, there's more. Right here. So this is one of them. And then this is another one that I was knitting. I think I figured it out now what I was doing wrong, but it's too late. I'm over it. I'm so done with that. So I wanted to keep those to show you. Now I can just throw them away because I'm not going to unwind them or anything. I'm just going to huck them.
We give them to Twitch.
No, they're going in the garbage. So this is
Mr.
See, I've knit a little bit since I last saw you. I was really surprised with how much on this that I'd knit, and it's just straight back and forth. I have 251 stitches on here, and it's got a 1x1 rib at the base.
It looks fantastic.
And then all of the dark stitches in between, it's 1 row knit and 1 row purl back, so that it actually it dips in farther. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah. And so that is that. And I've also been working on my Zelda, and that is coming along. Now this pattern is, I'm using Patton's Silk Bamboo, and the pattern is by White Lies Designs. And this is what it is going to look like when it's complete, if you can see it. I've been working on it off and on for the past little while, in all of my notes, because I always take lots of notes while I'm knitting, so I know exactly where I am. This pattern, if you're interested in doing it, make sure you take the time to look at other people's patterns and project pages that have knit it, because there is a lot of errata in this pattern, and I didn't realize. So when we last podcast, I put it away and I knit. So I've knit from here up, so all of that I've knit since our last podcast. And
that's
that
beautiful.
blanket, I started that blanket the day after, I think. And so I've knit all of that, but there's quite a bit of errata that can really adversely affect the knit. And I'm still not satisfied with because there's a turn that you have to do in one of these stitches, and on part of it, it creates a lump, but then when you're knitting a circle in the round,
it's really pretty.
But then when you change to knitting back and forth for these sections, that lump disappears because of how you work it. And I wish that never existed the whole way along. And I tried, but I tried so many ways to try to not have it.
Yeah. I remember that.
And the yarn is quite heavy, so that needs to be pulled up.
It's really pretty.
It's really pretty, but the yarn is heavy, so I think it's gonna pull. But it's got a lot of give to it. So hopefully I'll love the end project or product. So that's coming along. I put it in the naughty corner because I'm almost done the shoulders. I have one repeat left, and then the shoulders are done. Then I just have to knit the back and the sleeves. So that's the perfect time to stop knitting on it, apparently, is when I'm almost done.
That seems to be right.
Well, because I'll just pick it up and I'll get it done in a day. So
and then she'll have another finished object.
And then I'll have a finished object for next episode. And I also started... Oh, I've been working on these socks Sock It To Me socks.
Oops.
That I knit on before. Thanks, Sil.
You're welcome.
They're an afterthought heel. I've actually been taking them with me, so I've knit from
That's
the heel
lucky.
up to there since our last episode. You know, if I just worked on one thing, I would be so fast.
Right?
All of the things we've done.
She's not a monogamous knitter.
And that's just a straight knit, back and forth kind of knit.
Different projects for different days.
Yeah, and I started this, and I'll show you a picture in a second of what I'm knitting. Oh, it's hard to see with the light. Cast a shadow. I don't know. There we go. That's better. It's a very pale pink. It's really pretty. And what I'm doing is the Pride and Prejudice top. And this is by Christelle Nihol, I guess. What I really like about this top, it's hard to see too. What I really like about this top is, there we go. Meh.
Oh,
It's
no,
fine.
it's not going to work. I'm
It's
just going to
fine,
block it.
And that's going to make the
Yeah.
focus go in and out. So, but what I really like about it is that all of the pictures of it, all the different body styles, it looked good on everybody. So I really like that. I like that it's a lighter weight. I'm using lace weight yarn, and I got gauge. I'm using Haya interchangeables, and I'm using for my yarn, it is Diamond Luxury Collection Baby Alpaca in lace, and the color is 9054.
9054.
9054. So pretty, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Wonderful.
So yes, so that's coming along. Now where are we? Acquisitions. I did a yarn trade with Katie, who won our last draw for the towel, and she sent me all of these luscious beautifuls for
so
my
beautiful
blanket, and I sent her all of my scrap yarn. Like, I had run out, and so I sent her all of everything that I had, and it was a couple of them were wound into separate things because I was just like that far at the end of my scraps.
I love mini skeins. They're adorable.
I love them. They're so cute. There's lots to choose from here, and you'll see them better when I put them into my blanket. This yarn is a silk. It's pure silk, and I've got a couple different colorways here. And I have a project in mind for them. It is Maharashtra silk. My enunciation's perfect. 800 yards, 731 meters, and it's pure silk. And I have one that's blues and teals, and one that's gray, green, and purple.
So pretty.
And I'm going to knit with these, the Liesel, and it is a lace weight, like long t-shirt that's got like things on the side that are longer in pockets. Pockets!
Yay for pockets.
I'll go through my yarn first. I got some stuff from Knit Picks.
Like we said, now it's the Marsha show
Yeah,
for a
it's
little
the
bit.
Marsha show. 70% merino wool, 30% silk, 440 yards lace weight, and it is the gloss lace. And I got, this one is sterling, so I got 2 of those. And I also got lilac, and I got 2 of those. And then I got some sock weight yarn. I've heard wonderful things about the Felici, so I got Countess. All the crinkling for all of you who
Love that sound.
like the sound. What's this one? Glacier. And I guess it's the price you have to pay for security in your yarn. And Mosaic. So I got those 3 colors, and I got enough for a pair of socks in each. So
I was just thinking, it's like when I talk about my thesis. Like, yeah, she's got more yarn. And I know this is a knitting podcast, and I know that's what we do. So I'm being supportive. It's all very pretty.
Okay. And also, Scylla and I went to a wedding where Scylla was the best man.
We did go to a wedding. It was a fun wedding. Very fun.
And while Scylla was being best manish and they were taking photos with the bride and groom, I went to the Art of Yarn, which is a knitting shop in Kelowna, which is near where we live.
So the groom, can I just interject for a quick second?
Yeah.
So the groom specifically sat Marsha at a table with another woman who's a really good friend of mine, Nicole, in case she ever starts to watch this.
Hi, Nicole.
Specifically because he knew that they both knit. He's like, oh, I should sit Marsha with Nicole because they'll get along so great because they both knit.
Yes.
And
so,
Nicole brought her knitting to the wedding.
Because she's awesome.
And so did Marsha.
So we knit. And so I got some Madeline Tosh, and it's lace, and it is the Prairie. And I got, this one is called Smokestack.
That's really pretty.
It's so pretty. So I got 2 of those. And this one is called Blue Nile, and those are so pretty. And I also got some Knitter's Pride Nova Platina, and I want to say, if you are allergic to nickel, these do not have nickel in them.
Ooh, that's nice.
So they're platinum.
Platinum knit needles. It's one
and
step
so
up for your yarn snobs.
I'm pretty excited that they're platinum plated, I think, but the base is not nickel either. It's chrome plating. Just hang on. Platinas are light and weight, made using the best quality raw materials. If I could speak. The chrome plating ensures that your platinas are good for use over a long period of time while retaining the gloss of the surface. So I'm really excited about those.
That's very exciting.
I feel like we have to talk fast. There's so many things.
No,
Page 2.
Going on.
So, as you all know, Scylla and I are in a book club.
We are. We read books.
And our next book is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo.
I haven't started reading it yet.
That's what the page thing looks like. I've already read it twice. And I love it. And one of the things that I really enjoy is that she says, like, go through your home and touch everything you own. It sounds daunting. Touch it. And if it doesn't bring, like, a spark of joy or happiness to you, then it's useless, essentially. And the first thing you do is you go through your closet. So I got rid of bags of clothes that I have just because, or they were gifts and I don't want to give them away. I got rid of a t-shirt that I had since I was a teenager that I never wore it. I didn't like to wear it, but it had my name on it. So I kept it. And so, right? I got rid of it. Yeah, so the things like that, because it didn't speak to me anymore. It never did. It wasn't my style.
Then should I get rid of my grad t-shirt that says year 2000?
It's up to you. Does it speak magic to you? Or do you just keep it just because?
I keep it just because, but I've never worn it.
See? Yeah, so what's the point of having it? You should be surrounding yourself by the things that spark happiness.
Because I kept it, because I'm like, oh, this is awesome. It's like from the year 2000, the year I graduated.
Yeah.
And I just dated myself there a little bit. But I'm like, I don't want to wear it because I don't want to wear it out and I don't want to wreck it.
So also, yeah, so that's why I was going through this stuff too. We also have gotten some bags. I'm going to go through those really quickly. I'm going to preface this by saying I love them all. I love them all. So this is my Downton Abbey bags by Terry bag.
There, you got it right there.
Right there?
Just turn it a little. I don't know.
I don't know which way.
Angle it. Yeah, there you go.
There
it is.
Oh, there it is. It's so pretty. I love it.
It's really pretty.
Really sturdily made. I ordered 2 because one I gave to a friend, and this is actually housing my Pride and Prejudice, which isn't that apt. Aptly done.
That's awesome.
But yes, and I really love it. We were sent this, Renee, who has Lowland Originals, sent Scylla and I each a bag
And they are absolutely
and some
lovely.
super cute stitch markers. I don't know if you can see
I
them.
love the bags.
Yeah, they're so cute, and they're really well made. And actually, I posted a picture on Instagram, and if any of you know who Susan B. Anderson is, she said that these are the best bags. So, just throwing that out there, Susan B. Anderson.
Hey, Susan B. Anderson says the best bags.
Yeah. So,
but I'm sure anybody who's watching who makes bags, I'm sure your bags are great too.
There's lots of great bags. I also got an update from Kay from the Bakery Bears, and let me tell you, it is like a feeding frenzy for her bags. Seriously.
That one has snaps?
It has snaps so that you can work your yarn and pull it through and it won't snag on anything. It's a Christmas bag. And when I went in, I just went in to grab the first one and it like out. Because it was scary, and so I didn't even know what I bought after
it arrived. I just want one. It doesn't matter what it is.
I don't care what it is. Yeah, it's super cute. It's very well made. I've got another Bakery Bears button, and it has the snaps, which I'm eager to try that feature out. So it doesn't have anything in it yet, but it will. It will. Probably a Bakery Bear. Also, I purchased some bags by Knit and Stitch Bits bags, and they are super cute. She is in Australia, and she also sent some stitch markers as well, which are super cute. And so she sent me a Notions pouch with it, and this bag, which I really thought was very pretty. Playing with light is just not a thing. And I got a bag for Scylla.
Bitch, it's my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
So I came home from
now.
work yesterday, and did I work yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I came home from work yesterday, and I came home to this. I don't know if any of you ever remember Mr. Men and Little Miss. It's like Mr. Bump, Mr. Happiness, Mr. Square. Mr. Bump was one of my favorites. He'd fall down all the time. Yeah, and so they're all on here. They used to be little children's books, and it's absolutely lovely. I used to love it because I couldn't read. The irony. As I'm writing a master's thesis. But I couldn't. I had a hard time learning to read. And so these books are super easy, super fun, super awesome. And so when I came home and my sister gave me this, it really just fed my happy. Thanks, Mar.
Okay.
Okay.
So I have an FO. And so my finished project is a Mr. Bakery Bear.
He's so cute.
He was a gift for my youngest. She really wanted one for her birthday, and she's very specific on what she wanted. She wanted him in a suit. She wanted him in pants, not shorts, and he needed a bow tie. So
very specific.
But she also said since he's going to be on TV and be famous, that my Mrs. Bakery Bear that I gave her has to be on TV and be famous too.
Really? Did she say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes
She's
sense.
like, I don't want him to be famous, but if he is, he has to bring his wife. So
they just met. I don't know if you should marry them off right away. Let them
know.
have some time to court.
She wants him to have a baby now too.
Really?
So I gotta figure that out. But so I designed a little bow tie.
You should make a baby bakery bear.
Which is super
It's
cute.
okay if you have a recipe to make a baby bakery bear.
I think you can just use sock weight yarn and smaller needles.
Okay.
I think that would come out with a baby. And a little like cardigan kind of thing that opens in the front and opening in the front. Yeah, so he is adorable. And yeah, so that was my knitting project for the gift along as well. So I got him finished. I just have to put his photograph in the gift along thread. So I'm
Sounds
still
like you
doing
just
the
started
things.
lots of gifts along this.
I know, but
month.
isn't that funny? Because I finished him. I knit like half a blanket, almost finished a top, and started another sweater. Mr. Baker
Catching
there.
up on some lost time.
So if you haven't knit a toy, this is a good one to knit. Her directions are awesome. She's got lots of photos in her directions and her pattern. And yeah, so it's not difficult. I made the pieces in probably an evening or two, because when I do these guys, I just knit them in the evening when there's no children around, because...
Alright, so the average person, double that.
Okay. But, yeah, so they're a happy little family. They love each other.
I love that the back of his ears and the front of his ears. Like, I love that his ears are
2 different colors. They're so cute. And speaking of the gift along, it closes on July 31st. So if you're joining us, then please get your photo in that thread before July 31st, because we will close it. We have already closed the thread for our 200 member surprise thread gratitude.
Da, da, da. We closed that today.
We closed that today because we did the draw.
So congratulations. We've drawn.
So there are a couple people. Well, there's one person. Well, I'll just go through without further ado.
And this is the order that they were drawn.
Yeah. These are the people who have won a free copy of my Okanagan Orchard shawl cowl. Number 57, Siberian Cat, who is Penny. Number 22, Gehirnloss 22, who is Karen. Number 11, Mindful William, who is William. Number 23, Patchwork Bee, who is Bee. Number 44, Little Yellow Uke, who is Zena, and I'm pretty sure she has a podcast because I'm sure I watch it. I watch so many, but yeah, I think she has a podcast. Number 31, Molly O'Malley.
Who is likely Molly O'Malley.
just
thinking.
Number 56, who is You Who Knits, who is Georgina, and she has a podcast. And she noted that if she was one of the names pulled, that she will actually be gifting it to somebody in her You Who Knits group. So she's going to be giving that copy away, because she was actually one of my test knitters, and hers turned out beautifully. Okay, so number 21, who is Gran Lou. Number 50, who is Codfish H, who is also Joe. And number 30, PJ Pearls, who is Paula. So
congratulations, everybody.
I will be sending out a copy of this pattern to each one of you by the time you watch this. You might already have it, except for Georgina. Georgina, you're going to need to contact me and let me know who you're going to gift this pattern to. So you should already have it in your Ravelry by the time you watch this. The discount code is still available till August 5th. So if you didn't win and you want to purchase it and still receive a discount, please go ahead and do that. Thank you to all the people who have already purchased the pattern, as well as those who have purchased it at full price, whether intended or not. Appreciate it. There was a couple people who purchased it at full price.
Oh wow.
And they just wanted to purchase it at full price. So
thank you.
That's really supportive. Thank you very much. And starting August 1st is our next knit along, and it's a shawl knit along.
It's a shallow shawl
knit along. And so my shawl cowl works, so that's Okanagan Orchard, so you can knit that. And I would love to see everybody join in and actually knit that. Not you're hilarious. Because I would like to see how it turns out in different yarns and different things. And you don't need to, it's written for lace weight, but if you knit to gauge, you can use a
worsted or sock?
Not a worsted. I wouldn't use a worsted. But a sock weight, because the yarn that I used was either a heavy lace or a light sock. So it's in between, and if you're knitting to gauge, then it doesn't matter, because the size is going to be the proper size anyway. And it's a shawl cowl, so it's supposed to be drapey and big, and so a little bit of a gauge difference isn't going to be a big deal. But that is, I believe, it. Look at this big mess that we created.
I know. It's a disaster around here.
It's awesome. So thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
And hanging out with us and knitting with us.
It's been wonderful, as always.
And we hope that you have a great week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks till we see you again.
We do. And we just wanted to let you know that Psychology with Sylla will be returning in the fall.
In the fall.
So those of you who are holding on tight for it, it's coming back.
It's coming back, yeah.
And those of you who are like, oh, it's still coming back.
Still going to be there. All right, so see you next time.
Until next time. Ah!